Cattle housing. General housing requirements. Shade is important for cattle in hot climates to increase milk production and reproduction. Cows need clean, dry living areas to prevent hoof infection, free from mud and manure. Large areas with good drainage are ideal, but concrete floors work too if space is limited. Shade from the sun. Minimum shade structure size, 2.5 to 3 square meters per cow. Roof size, 3 mm by 7 cm, enough for 8 cows. Minimum height, 3 meters for air circulation. Flooring, paved with good quality concrete for most of the shaded area. Shadows cast at various times and dates at latitude 10 degrees south. When deciding on which orientation to use, the following factors should be considered. With the east-west orientation, the feed and water troughs can be under the shade, allowing the cows to eat and drink in shade any time of the day. The shaded area should be increased to 3 to 4 meters per cow. Locating feed and water in the shade encourages feed consumption but leads to more manure in the shaded area, which can make cows dirty. A north-south orientation is the best way to keep the shaded area dry if paving the ground is too expensive. A north-south orientation is recommended to provide roof shade throughout the day. In hot climates, an east-west orientation is recommended. The gable roof is more wind-resistant than a single pitch roof and allows for a center vent. A woven mat of local materials can be installed between the beams and the corrugated iron. Yards limited space, 4-5 square meters per cow, then concrete paving is desirable. If 40-60 square meters, unpaved yards is recommended. Land with soil yard, between 20 to 30 square meters per cow, will keep them out of the worst of mud. The soil in the mounds can be stabilized by working chopped straw or straw and manure into the surface. A number of trees in the yard will provide sufficient shade. Deep bedded sheds. In a deep bedded systems, grass, sawdust, shavings, or other bedding material is periodically placed in the resting area so that a mixture of bedding and manure builds up in a thick layer. Although this increases the bulk of the manure, it may be easier to handle than wet manure alone. This system is the most practical when bedding is plentiful and cheap. Loose housing with free stalls, cubicles. Less bedding will be required and less manure will have to be removed. Free stalls must be of the right size in order to keep the animals clean and to reduce injuries to a minimum. Small or large stall will injure or dirt the area. The floor of the stall must be of a non-slippery material, such as soil. Tie stall sheds. Tie stall systems are only ideal for purebred herds where individual attention is provided. The design should allow free head movement while standing or lying down, but prevent the cow from reaching the feed trough with its hooves. Partitions between every other cow are recommended to prevent teat trampling and encourage proper standing posture for manure disposal. Calf pens. Internal dimensions of calf pen for 2 weeks are 1200 by 800 millimeters. 6 to 8 weeks, 1200 by 1000 millimeters. To 14 weeks, 1500 by 1200 millimeters. 3 sides of the pens should be enclosed to prevent contact with other calves. Another system that works well is the use of individual hutches. Housing for the small herds recommends a zero grazing system for smallholder farms with benefits for both cattle production and land use. Building a cattle shed with free stalls, cubicles, for up to 10 animals. Wood needs treatment for durability. A feeding trough is included for providing cut grass, zero grazing to the cattle. Housing for medium to large. For farmer with 30 cows, paved shade yard and feed area would be suitable. For 30 cows, may even consider using an open-sided tie stall shed. In general, a medium or large-scale dairy unit may include the following facilities: resting area for cows, exercise yard, paved feed area, milking center, bullpen with service stall, calving pens, calf accommodation, young stock accommodation, bulk feed store, hay and silage, concentrate feed store, veterinary facilities, waste store, office and staff facilities. This figure shows the zero grazing system for the smallholder. Milking and milk handling. Large farms. Machine milking is efficient for large-scale dairy operations due to its high output. Small farms. Hand milking is preferred for smaller farms due to lower costs and simplicity. Machine milking benefits. It provides good quality milk and operates with consistent pressure for optimal milking. Machine milking types. Bucket milking machines are the simplest and most affordable option, but require manual milk transfer. The figure shows a bucket milking machine. Milk room and cooler. Sanitation is the most important factor, regardless of farm size. Cleaning requires hot water, 85 degrees Celsius, with detergent. Milk handling needs a separate, clean area free of pests and dust. Selling milk to the public requires even higher sanitation standards and better facilities. Milk room needs a separate location, good ventilation, sloped concrete floor for drainage, and smooth, water-resistant masonry walls for easy cleaning. The figure shows the minimum water requirements for parlor and milk room washing, and this figure is Milk Collection Center, Milking Parlor. Milking parlor becomes a feasible investment. Parlor should have a high-quality concrete floor and metal railings for durability and ease of cleaning. Abreast. Parlor allows cows to enter and leave individually. The main drawbacks with a breast parlor is the relatively long distance to walk between milking points. Tandem parlor. Targeted herds, suitable for smaller commercial herds, particularly those with high-yielding cows. Space and cost. Requires larger space and incurs higher construction expenses compared to other parlors of similar capacity. Efficiency comparison. Offers comparable milking capacity, cows per hour, and labor efficiency to a small herringbone parlor. Walk-through parlor. Batch entry. Exit. Designed for cows to enter and leave in groups, primarily used for small herds. Space advantage. Narrow width allows for easier retrofitting into existing buildings. Lower efficiency. Compared to other parlor types, walk-through parlors offer lower overall efficiency. Cost effectiveness. Construction costs are lower compared to tandem parlors. Herringbone parlor. Compact design and feeders. Offers a space-saving layout with feeders mounted on side. Minimum size and efficiency. Requires at least 4 milking stands per side for optimal labor efficiency. Staff hour efficiency. Simplicity and high milking capacity per staff hour contribute to its widespread use. Worker safety is a concern due to increased risk of cow kicks. Large herds and staff hour output. While larger parlors handle more cows per hour, increased staffing needs and waiting times can reduce overall staff hour efficiency. Grain feeders. Equipping parlors with feeders that offer production-based concentrate rations is recommended. Feeding methods. Manual concentrate distribution using measuring scoops is preferred for most herds. Automation considerations. While semi-automatic and automatic systems exist, their high installation cost, maintenance needs, and potential lack of service availability make them less practical. Collecting yard. 1.1 to 2.0 meters per cow, with larger space needed for large horned cows and smaller herds. Freshwater provision is essential for waiting cows. A slope of 2,100 millimeters per meter encourages drainage and directs cows towards the parlor entrance. A paved surface ensures ease of cleaning and maintains hygiene in the parlor. A roof provides shade, prevents wet cows from entering during rain, and reduces the amount of rainwater entering the manure pit. Entrance and exit. Straight entry. Minimize turns for smooth cow flow and reduce manure tracked into the parlor. A single 100 millimeter step is recommended. Uncrowded exit area. Design the exit to lead to an open area to avoid congestion. Straight exit preferred, 700 to 900 millimeters. While a straight exit is ideal, narrow alleys, depending on cow size, are acceptable to discourage turning. Feeding trough. Dimensions consider animal size, reach, and feeding space, with enough volume for each feeding. Concrete or treated timber are suitable choices. Concrete grade should be C20 or 1.2.4 mix for better resistance to feed and saliva. Headrails need firm mounting to posts set securely in the ground to withstand cow pressure. A 2.5-meter concrete apron and a narrow step beside the trough help minimize mud and manure accumulation. Trough height is 100 or 400 millimeters above the cow's front feet. Separate troughs with vertical rails or tombstone barriers encourage individual feeding and potentially reduce feed waste. Headrails need firm mounting to posts set securely in the ground to withstand cow pressure. A roof over the feeding area provides shade for daytime feeding and protects feed from rain. Water trough. Water trough design. Size depends on watering frequency, continuous or periodic. Linear trough space. Allow 60-70 cm per cow for unrestricted simultaneous access. Free choice trough size. Provide space for 2 to 3 cows drinking at once. Number of troughs. Aim for 1 trough per 50 animals. Manure prevention. A 300-400 millimeter front step or sloped sides discourage manure contamination. Automatic drinker. Cow drinker. Design. For loose housing systems, place the bowl at 1 meter height with a 1 meter x 150 to 200 millimeters raised area for protection. Aim for one bowl per 10 to 15 cows. Young stock considerations. Nipple drinkers offer the most hygienic option but may have limitations. Most nipples are suitable only for calves up to 6 months due to restricted flow rate. Feed handling, dry hay or forage. Year-round green forage eliminates storage needs, while dry seasons require proper hay storage techniques using a raised slatted floor and protective roof. Loose hay has a density of 60 to 70 kg/3, and storage needs are 3 to 5 kg per animal per day, with poles used for final drying within the storage area. Silage. Silage, a high-quality feed, is impractical for small herds due to spoilage in small quantities, but ideal for large-scale producers with proper silo construction and management. Maize plants are ideal silage material, while grasses and legumes may require additional fermentation aids. Concentrates and grains. The amount to be stored is highly variable. The method of storing is similar to that for food grains and suitable storage facilities. Manure handling. Manure handling aims to utilize manure's fertilizing value, maintain animal health through sanitation, prevent air and water pollution, promoting farm hygiene. Livestock manure includes feces, urine, bedding, feed spillage, and silage runoff. Storage allowance for silage effluent is 0.05 m3 per ton. Solid manure stacking requires immediate urine separation and sufficient litter, 1 to 2.5 kcal a day, for piles exceeding 1.5 meters. Liquid manure below 20% dry matter needs storage in tanks, with dilution levels depending on pumping and application methods. Cattle dip. Ticks are a major parasitic threat to livestock in East Africa, especially for introduced breeds, and require control measures like acaricide dips. Cattle dip siting should prioritize well-drained, firm ground for construction, animal welfare with access to water, and waste management through a designated waste pit to minimize environmental pollution. The dipping facility itself utilizes footbaths for mud removal, a jumping area for cattle entry, splash walls, and a tank for acaricide application, a draining race for wash return, and a silt trap for waste separation. Cattle spray race. Cattle spray race. An alternative to dipping for applying acaricide, it uses a similar site setup but with a 6-meter-long, 1-meter-wide masonry and concrete tunnel. Spray system. Inside the tunnel, a 3 to 3.5-meter-long pipe with 25 to 30 nozzles delivers high-pressure acaricide spray. Efficiency versus dipping. Spray races are cheaper to install, use less acaricide, and allow for fresh daily preparation. They are faster and less stressful for cattle, but may have incomplete coverage and require maintenance. And that would be all. Thank you.